This is Gene Basler. I got my baby Marlo Jane with me, and it's Sunday morning on a fine March day in Cypress, Texas. I just got done giving a talk at the Agorist I.O. convention about the Hispanic worker as a great champion of liberty and markets. And now Marlo Jane and I are going to tour the grounds. Alright, so I want to show you what these look like. You've seen my live oaks before. So here's what they look like now, banging out their beautiful green foliage. You can see that the three specimens are in different stages of their springtime refoliation. This one has all new leaves, and they're full size and have not hardened off yet. This one has lost all of its old leaves, and all the new leaves are very tiny. Old leaves, new leaves, and this one is the least far along, not having dropped all of its old leaves. Okay. I also want to show that my Indian hawthorns are in full bloom, and that we don't have very many weeds yet in our mulch bed, but we still have lots of weeds in our organic content and nutrient devoid soil. Lawn. The lawn with its poor soil has more weeds. You can see that we've harvested our green onions, and that our other onions are doing fine. And did you leave your daddy? Where did you go? Don't you want to walk some more with me?
Maybe.
I've gotten a lot of ideas from a lot of folks on Facebook and from the sustainable gardening, homesteading, permaculture community. Got some good tomatoes, getting ready to stake them up. Onions aren't doing so hot. Looks like a one potato is starting to pop out. Nothing going on with the raspberry. But the blackberry is coming. The blueberry has got all kinds of new foliage all over it. The papaya is not doing so hot. There was a couple of days there when it was out of the reach of the hose, and so it didn't get watered. The peppers, you can see, are banging. And the onions have sprouted out like gangbusters. And new this morning, I see that there's 2 garlics coming up. The red basil didn't take. And here's our grapefruit tree. Okay. Those of you who are just now or haven't seen this before, Susie wants to turn this old awning into a greenhouse of sorts, and we're still trying to work that out. So it needs to be repaired because it got picked up by the wind and blown over the fence into the neighbor's yard, and so it's pretty badly damaged. But any repairs, if they're made by me, are going to be pretty ugly because I'm not handy. But I do welcome ideas on how we can turn that into a greenhouse. Seems like the frame is in place and the greenhouse fabric isn't that hard. I was going to mount those wood strips that you could staple gun plastic onto all over it, and then staple gun the translucent greenhouse plastic to it. Hi, baby. So, oh, hey, I'm really looking for some guidance here. I want to experiment here. Right here, the surface runoff is okay, but this is clay soil, so it's poor. But what I want to do here is, rather than do a raised bed where I bring in topsoil and compost, I want to attempt to kill the grass without herbicide, plant, I was thinking green beans, and then see how it goes. I'm looking for a way that isn't too labor intensive and doesn't involve bringing in any topsoil. So I guess before you can really advise me on this, you're going to need to see the soil analysis. It's probably going to be back this week. I collected the samples 2 weeks ago, but I discovered last week that they hadn't gone out in the mail. So anyway, I'm waiting for the soil sample that I collected right here on this spot, so we can see what kind of plants might be suitable for this garbage of the soil that we're working with here. It's basically construction backfill. There might be something. So what do? I don't want to rototill. I don't want to use herbicide on the grass. I don't want to use landscape fabric. I was thinking about putting wet newspaper down and then weighing it down with something like bricks. But I don't want to bring any new material. So do I need to engage in the fairly labor-intensive activity of scraping off that grass and wheelbarrowing it off to some place where I can dump it or compost it, and then start over with bare soil and try to plant something in it that way? Cover it up with straw mulch or even regular hardwood mulch? I'm interested in ideas. And are green beans a good idea? I'm open to corn or anything that's going to grow in crappy soil. So anyway, this is an update on the state of our garden. We haven't cut a hole in the fence to give us access to this road. The budget hasn't permitted us to work on our wind turbine prototype. We haven't spent any money on the garden since last week, and don't intend to for about another 3 weeks. But you know, I encourage donations. I'll give you a plug. If you actually have used a gray water capture system, wind turbine, I know there are a lot of designs on YouTube, but if you actually have used these things, let me know, because we get a lot of wind here and a lot of sun. Not this morning, but a lot of sun too. Thank you. Info@wideworldoftrees.com. Thanks for tuning in.